Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm FunsexyDB or FSDB or whatever you want to call me. I go by many names. And I just want to introduce you all to my first time-lapse slash chatting video. And I'll be drawing Goku. But first, I want to introduce myself, which I kind of already did. Sorry, I'm a bit new at this. Like I said, you can call me FSDB. I'm an artist and an animator. Well, a little bit of more of an artist than an animator. Still trying my best to do way more animation these days. And I mostly like to create comics. Animation second, but they're both like almost neck and neck. I enjoy doing drawing stories, especially of the fan art nature. On this channel, I will be doing a lot of Dragon Ball related stuff, whether it's time-lapse videos or animation or what have you. Like I mentioned before, I'm starting out drawing a quick Goku sketch, mostly just the bust, not a full body. And I thought I can go in a little bit about my process, which is actually, if you're not a first-time drawer or artist, if you're even intermediate or even past beginner stage, I start out pretty basic, the way most artists will start out. Now for this video I won't go into super details about how I draw in general or draw Dragon Ball characters, so I just get a little brief mention of how I do it. So I start out, of course, with your basic structure of your head, simple shapes, and I go into finer details much later. Again, I'm keeping it very broad because I like to prep myself and describe it a little bit later. For this video, I'm going to keep it at normal speed, or I might speed it up a little bit. I guess we'll see once I'm done drawing. But besides that, I try to go in with like a lot of good structure, and I think it helped from years of practice. Of course, the only way to get good at anything is to practice. And of course, being a super fan of Dragon Ball and studying the characters for quite a long time, drawing Goku and other characters almost becomes second nature. For example, in this drawing, I'm not using a reference because I've drawn Goku so many times before. Speaking of references and drawing and studying for years and years, I thought I can get into my inspirations developing as an artist. And since this is an introductory kind of video to this sort of format, I thought it wouldn't hurt. I would explain, actually my biggest inspirations throughout my life was my dad and my mom, who are both artists. At least my dad is still an artist. My mom can draw very well, just that's not her profession. And my father, growing up, he used to paint a lot of figures, a lot of abstract art, a lot of portraits and the human body, and that really inspired me to pursue my own career in art. And after like just growing up and studying other artists, there's of course artists like who inspired me, like Bruce Timm. His work on Batman the Animated Series really had an influence on me growing up. Chuck Jones, of course, the Looney Tunes golden era. Can't go wrong with that. Frank Frazetta, a fantastic fantasy and sci-fi painter. And of course, Akira Toriyama. It will be strange if I didn't mention him. He was also a very big influence of mine at a very early age, reading the manga and everything. I also read other manga as well growing up, but just Dragon Ball had such a great impact on me that I love reading it. I loved watching the anime on Toonami. It was so much fun. I remember the days of just running home and just like trying to catch after school, just hoping I don't miss. I guess at that time the Frieza arc was airing on Toonami. That's when I started to get really into it. And it was one of my favorite memories as a kid is watching a Dragon Ball on Toonami. It was fantastic. But besides learning from manga and the anime, I had so many influences growing up. Like I read a lot of comics I read Western comics, indie comics, underground comics like Tank Girl and heavy metal. So, and of course there's DC, there's Marvel. I read a whole bunch of stuff. And what I did is that I learned from as many different styles as I could. And that's including anime as well. And I sometimes when people ask like, oh, you have your own style, it looks so unique, and how did you develop it? And it's kind of weird to say because sometimes you don't notice you have a style until like way later. Like it always comes when you're not looking for a style and you just want to improve, and eventually people will start to notice almost like a unique signature in your art. And with to relate this back to Dragon Ball, what it is, when I was drawing characters, I started out trying to draw it exactly how it was in the manga, like exactly like how it was in Z. And when I realized I couldn't exactly replicate it to a T, I started just mix and matching. I started to combine styles and of styles I loved. I really love the Western cartoony style, whether it's Bruce Timm, as I mentioned before, or Chuck Jones, or even like comic books like Hot Stuff, or Little Animus Fanny and stuff like that. I just like squeezing them together, like sort of like practicing from all these bunch of things. And when you mix them together, you sort of develop your own style when you learn from other creators. And I think that's important. If you pick a handful of creators that you really like and you just study them, I think you sort of create this Frankenstein sort of appeal to your art. You take everything, every little bit that you love, and you make something of it. Like, I don't know how different my Dragon Ball work looks compared to the original. I do know it's not exactly the same how Toriyama draws them, from whether it's old school Toriyama or new school style Toriyama. I just kind of just do my thing, but I really still want it to look like Dragon Ball always. Now, I know it was a short video, but to close it out, I like to ask the viewers out there or subscribers, what would you like to see from my channel? More time-lapse videos and chatting like this one, short animations, longer animations that might take a bit longer to put out, tutorials, more of my process, etc. Just let me know in the comments below this video and tell me what you think, and of course what kind of YouTuber I guess I would be if I didn't plug my Patreon, FunsexyDB. I guess patreon.com FunsexyDB. And also don't forget to like, subscribe, all that jazz, or don't. I'm pretty new at this. See you guys later.